Spider-Man is an amazing superhero with great villains and stories. Insomniac Games is a developer with an impressive history of great games like Spyro, Ratchet & Clank, and of course, Fuse. So what happens when you mix these two together? Well, then you get Marvel's Spider-Man for the PS4, and it was amazing. Eventually, the PS5 would release and fans were demanding a sequel, and they would get a little bit of a sequel, but then they would get a real sequel, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. But only as a PS5 exclusive. For one reason or another, people were begging Sony to release Spider-Man on PC, and after 2 years, they finally did it, and it was bad. How? People were praising this game on the PS5, so why is it so bad now? Well, I've been waiting for this game to come to PC, so I guess I'll see what everyone's been complaining about. But it can't be that bad. Well, I mean, it can be that bad, but they would have to really mess this up. The game starts 2 years ago, and immediately there are bold story choices by Sony. They have characters speak 1 whole second after their lips move.
It'll work.
I don't have a lot of time left.
Harry is receiving some kind of treatment for a disease that I don't know about, probably because I didn't play the last 2 games, but I'm sure he'll be fine. Miles is applying for college, and Peter just got hired as a teacher when Sandman starts attacking New York, and I'm introduced to the real main character, Door. Yeah, I hope the sound effect isn't copyrighted, because I'm going to be using it a lot. I start fighting Sandman, and both Spider-Men are able to team up to defeat Marcos, but he warns us of someone coming for us. I'm then introduced to Kraven, a big game hunter, but the game he likes to hunt are humans, and he has his eyes set on Spider-Man's villains. Going back to school, Peter gets fired for abandoning his students, but I thought Door could take care of them. And now the game opens up, and I can finally tell you about the gameplay. The gameplay is super satisfying. You're mostly going to be doing 2 things, swinging and fighting. The swinging is smooth and fast that even when I unlocked fast travel, I would still choose to just swing, climb, and fly to my destination. Just tremendous fun swinging around New York City. Fighting is very simple, as you only have 1 basic attack button. Now you do have a dodge, a parry, a finisher, and all of your gadgets at your disposal. So every fight is just spamming the attack button, parrying an attack, maybe use a special move for a gadget, and then going right back to spamming. My favorite thing to do is if you knock an enemy against a wall or on the ground, you can spam your web shooters and they get webbed, immediately defeating them. Outside of swinging and fighting, there are puzzles for you to do which can unlock outfits, and I love all of them. It's so nice getting to wear your favorite Spider-Man outfit. Hey Grizzly, should I wear the 2099 outfit or the classic outfit?
Everyone is dead!
I go to Aunt May's house and relearn when she taught me about balance. This would be very important later on. When Harry returns and he is looking healthy, he takes me to the high school and I get a flashback mission. But the flashbacks are so raw, so emotional, that the game softlocks me. Literally, I need to reload the mission for it to give me the prompt that I needed. And this is such an amazing feature that Sony purposefully implemented so that you really soak in the good old days that you've had with Harry. Kraven then comes to New York with his sleek black jets that can change their texture to camo when they want to. He interrupts a prisoner transfer, so naturally I try to stop him from kidnapping Scorpion and Mr. Negative. Story-wise, Mr. Negative actually killed Miles' father, so he hits Miles with a stare so evil, so cunning, that it crashed the game. I love it when games do this, just breaking the 4th wall like with Doki Doki Literature Club glitching itself out, or Sans Undertale counting how many times he beats you in a row, and now this is, it's truly amazing. No other game is like this. Kraven successfully kidnapped Scorpion and Mr. Negative, and that whole interaction just broke Miles' back. So let's play with Peter for a bit. Peter finds a hideout that Kraven's men were using, so I start fighting enemies so powerful, so devious, so undeniably vile, that they freeze the game. And it is perfect how Sony shows off the enemy's strength by having them freeze the world around them. Such an incredible feature. Kraven really studies and understands his targets, so when he fights Scorpion, he kills him. Like, actually kills him. He is dead. So I check in on Miles, whose mom is floating in his room, and he runs at 60 frames per whenever. Right back to Peter, finally spending some time with Harry and MJ at the carnival. And Harry has got an arm on him! There are even some old villains who have turned a new leaf here, so naturally Kraven shows up to kidnap them. And they succeed. But then Harry comes in to help with his newfound powers. So we team up to save Tombstone before Kraven can kill him, and we do it. We save Tombstone in a way so awesome, so epic, so heroic. The ground disappears.
Oh my god, you saved me.
Dr. Connors, who used to be the lizard, was also kidnapped, and MJ is trying to help when she accidentally also gets kidnapped. So now, playing as MJ, I need to sneak past guards and escape. I kinda don't like these missions, as it's supposed to be high intent and high risk. But it doesn't play like that. I can just run up to people and take them out. That and maybe MJ got some training from Peter on how to defend herself, and she has a pretty powerful taser, but she's up against people who hunt humans for a living. You're telling me that some tiny reporter wins every time? Nah. I'd win. Roadhouse. She does find Dr. Connors when Kraven injects him with the lizard serum, so Peter tries to stop him and actually dies. Like actually dies. Kraven stabs him. So the suit chooses Peter and brings him back to life. Without the suit, however, Harry is dying from his illness again, so we really need to find Dr. Connors and heal him from his lizard form. I did manage to get the antidote from Kraven, and Harry and I successfully make it when, of course, Kraven's men show up with Grizzly? Now, Grizzly, before we get down to business, there's something I have to tell you. I'm fresh out of honey. I find a lizard and punch him so violently, so ferociously, with such gusto, it grinds the game to a halt, puts the lizard into an A pose, and makes the ground disappear, making me fall to my death. Sony is the only company capable of writing a story with such amazing attention to detail. I save Dr. Connors and he tells me of the origin of the suit. It's an alien that they call a symbiote, and this information is so shocking, so appalling, so ghastly, that I once again fall through the floor and almost to my death again. Yeah, the floor doesn't like to stay there. Kraven kidnaps Miles while the symbiote has been influencing Peter to be rude to his friends, who have gained the ability to levitate. Miles wakes up and is forced to fight Mr. Negative to the death, but instead he learns about Miles, so he forgives him and helps him escape. Peter comes in to save him, and I finally fight Kraven, the big bad guy of the game, and he gets away as Miles saves me from the symbiote on me. I return to the lab and Harry demands the symbiote, but it's too dangerous for him to handle, and I was absolutely right, as he can't handle it and becomes Venom. And this section is amazing. Playing as Venom and killing every guard in my way is so much fun. Kraven shows up ready for his ultimate hunt, but Venom is able to defeat him and actually bites his head off. Kraven is now dead. With Harry stricken with regret, Venom convinces him that they need to take over the world. I can't believe what I've done. I killed a man.
Well, hey, have you ever thought of taking over the world?
Oh, that sounds amazing, actually. The city is now crawling with Venom minions, and I can't beat all of them off. So I dig deep down inside myself and awaken anti-Venom. I'm finally ready to face Venom, and he is difficult. He's just a tank, even being so powerful that the ground has once again disappeared. The symbiote is defeated, the city is saved, and everyone is happy except for Norman Osborn. And I don't blame him. While Miles was able to resurrect Harry, he still has the disease of making everyone disappear and having a random black box. It is a disease that no one should ever have, and Sony was bold to give Harry such a thing. Peter decides to retire as Spider-Man to have more balance in his life. See, I told you it would be important later on. And Miles goes on to protect the city. Guys, I'm sorry. I have been lying to you the whole time. The ground disappearing, the random character A poses, the game crashing, none of those are features. Those are all just bugs and glitches. It's no wonder why this game has been getting negative reviews. It just doesn't work. I don't know what they did, because this isn't the first time Sony released a PS5 exclusive on PC. They released God of War Ragnarok, and apparently that works. So what happened here? I don't know, I'm not a developer. But it's inexcusable for the game to work perfectly on PS5, but can't work on PC. Maybe because this game was made with console in mind that they didn't optimize it for anything but the PS5. But what I hate the most about this is that the game is really good. The gameplay is unlike anything else. The combat was so much fun when it wasn't stuttering. It's simplistic, like I said, there's only one basic attack button aside from gadgets and special moves, but with the amount of enemies you'll be fighting at once, the combat can be a challenge. Not in a bad way though, it was a very welcoming challenge that enhanced my experience with the game. You would be trying to parry one guy while another person could be swinging a punch or someone is taking a shot at you. And for a person who has spider sense, he sure does get hit a lot. The music didn't stand out much. It definitely complemented the levels you were doing, but none of the songs stood out. There's no pizza theme. The graphics were fine when the game was working. Like, I truly thought Kraven's jets were just matte black, but no, the textures just didn't work. And the story was good. And the best part about the story? Nobody died. Nobody important died. Kraven was a fantastic villain, a threat throughout 90% of the game, and is going to kill any person he deems as a good hunt. And then he just suddenly dies and no one cares. This man has been kidnapping and killing villains, even killing Peter, but once he dies, everyone just forgets about him. I get it. At this point, Venom becomes a really big threat, so they don't have time to really mope on Kraven's death. But I feel like we just moved on way too quickly. And that's how the ending of the game was. It was way too quick. Once I got to fighting the lizard, it was just boss fight, boss fight, boss fight until it was over. But there are touching moments and a good moral being to have balance in your life. If you try to do too much, you're going to burn yourself out. But speaking of doing too much, there are so many things to do in this game. That was a really good transition. Good job, Shiro. Thank you, Shiro. There are so many collectibles all around the map for both Miles and Peter, along with crimes happening all the time and even a side story where Peter has to fight the followers of the Flame. There's just this whole other story where Peter teams up with Yuri to take down the leader, but along the way tries to convince Yuri that murder is bad. It doesn't even have a good ending to these side missions. The leader Cletus gets the symbiote at the end and escapes. Spoilers, by the way. I don't know why I'm saying spoilers. Now, I spoiled the whole game at this point. The game is good, but you should not buy it on PC yet. During actual gameplay, it wasn't that bad. Some frame drops here and there when I went to a new area, but a lot of the glitches happened during cutscenes. While not every cutscene had really bad glitches, every cutscene's audio was always 1 second behind. But if I'm being honest, it enhanced my experience with this game. I had times when I burst out laughing because of the glitches that would happen, and it made me love this game more. But people usually want to experience games without any glitches, so until they can fix this game, you should hold off from buying it. But once they do fix it, you need to play this game. There's still no ground, by the way, so before I fall to my death, you should watch another one of my videos. They're pretty good. Alright, I'll see ya!